liberty is out there. And of course, the real clincher has been that so much that we have expressed concern about, like the economy, all of a sudden, has collapsed, and nobody's believing that stuff they pass anymore. Nobody trusts Keynesian economics. Nobody claims they want to be a socialist. And so that when you offer them something else, all of a sudden they say, you know what, this is different, and this is what we have to do here, and move along with something that so far hasn't been tried. But this, to me, is the wonderful thing about the momentum and the way things have continued. This, of course, has created a lot of anger in the country, and a lot of it is very positive. Now they're at the point where they can say, there's something wrong, the economy is collapsing, the wars are lasting forever, we go to war without the declaration, and it goes on and on. And now they're wondering about what we're going to do about this, and of course, that is what the answer is going to be. It's going to come, from the Campaign for Liberty. So the challenge we have is, how much influence are we going to have with the people in this country today who are unhappy with their government? And believe me, more than the majority of the American people are unhappy with the government. They think it's simply, well, the Democrats did this, put in the Republicans. Republicans do this, put in the Democrats. We know there's something more to it than that. There's a lot of anger, a lot of sincere concern, a lot of people suffering, and they want something new and different. Our job in the Campaign for Liberty is to promote the cause of liberty in order to compensate for all the bad ideas that have been floating around this country for so long. This is not an easy undertaking. I'm convinced we're further along than I had anticipated we would have been if you'd have asked me 3, 4, or 5 years ago. Things are moving rapidly. We are making great progress. But the big question is, they're recognizing what's wrong, and there's a lot of anger and concern, but what are we going to replace it with? Who will put the ideas out there? What do the people stand for? We have these spontaneous meetings. We had a few of those during the campaign, Tea Party, meetup groups, and all this, and it was spontaneous, and I thought then it was generally pretty well agreed upon what we all stood for. Today, it's very healthy in the sense that there are more than ever, but because it has grown so rapidly, it's miscellaneous. Sometimes all these groups don't agree on everything. And I don't think it's necessary that that happens. The one thing we don't want is to have somebody say, these are the 10 points, everybody's going to agree on these 10 points, and then you can join the crowd and fight the people in Washington. But I do believe that some broad viewpoints have to be understood. I don't think that just being unhappy with the government is enough. I think it has to be understood that we are taking on something that has been around for a long, long time. It's ingrained in our system, unfortunately. We have lost our way over 100 years ago. We lost interest in our Constitution, lost confidence in ourselves, changed our foreign policy, and that has to be reversed. So we're not talking about a change in election. We're talking about a philosophy of a country, because the government we have is a reflection of the philosophy of the people. So if the people believe in socialism and welfareism and warfareism, that's what you're going to have. But if the people decide that's not what they want, the government will not be able to do it. The people will resist, and they will have to just accept the fact that the attitude is changing. We're in the midst of that right now, this attitudinal change. But what we're doing is we're challenging a status quo, and the status quo, those people who maintain the status quo, are very, very powerful. They happen to have most of the wealth right now and the political power. They have access to most of the professorships in the universities. They have control of most of the media, but they don't have control of the internet.